ALBA MMA podcast, episode 2. Here we
Yes.
go. Right, everyone, welcome back to another podcast. I'm Ryan, and obviously with Johnny today.
Alright.
And we're going to be slabbering shite about everything in the MMA world, pretty much. Be good to get away from the KSI Logan bullshit and get back to the real fucking fighting.
There's still a little bit of it though.
We'll talk a little bit about it innit, but
Sadly.
for the most part, get back to the real shit.
Aye.
Like, let's start on the biggest thing that's happened in a while, the McGregor Khabib press conference.
Ryan, have you heard of this thing? It's proper 12 whiskey. Have you heard of it?
Proper 12 whiskey? I don't think I have, no. But see, to be fair, that just shows how much of a marketing legend he is. You know what I mean?
He knows
brings in his new whiskey, totes it with the boss. I mean, see Khabib, right, in a situation like that when McGregor was clearly out of it. There's not much you can do except for sit there and take it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. If he'd managed, I mean, he did an alright job of not getting too heated, but there are times you could see that he was getting angry, and even though I feel like McGregor seemed to, he wasn't out of his game. He was definitely fucked.
Mm-hmm. He definitely had a few beverages.
He had a couple of draps, proper 12 before he came on, but he still did so well in terms of just being able to get under his skin and say things that people are going to remember. See, the thing is with every McGregor opponent, the press conference before, you just need to make it through that without snapping, pretty much, don't you? But the thing is with these press conferences as well, it might be, getting to Khabib getting under his skin, but that's just going to make him even more angry in the cage, and it just shows, will he be able to control his motion in the cage? It's true. I think even you can look at like the Eddie Alvarez fight as someone who didn't get affected,
exactly.
or didn't show any visual. Yeah, he managed to go in to the press conference and stay like fairly level-headed. Didn't seem incredibly bothered by what McGregor was saying. Exactly.
He was talking back, giving them shit back, exactly. But then obviously the fight comes, and that was my actually it probably was my favourite McGregor UFC fight. The Aldo knockout was good, but it was just the fact he shut everyone up with that Alvarez fight. I think with the whole wrestling thing, because before that it was the Chad Mendes, but it was on how many weeks' notice. That was always the excuse. But then you go on against Eddie Alvarez. I mean, come on, fuck, and he does that to him. Makes him look like a novice.
I think that fight's really important, looking at it stylistically in comparison to the Khabib fight, because when you watch the Chad Mendes fight, he was really reckless in that fight in terms of taking shots, giving Chad Mendes the opportunity to take him down. Whereas when you watch the Alvarez fight, he's very almost flat-footed. He's not throwing reckless kicks. He's just working his box and working his counters against a shorter opponent. He wasn't running in looking for the finish. But he knew Chad Mendes was going to be getting tired easily as long as he kept on hitting him to the body, etc. But when he was fighting Eddie Alvarez, I mean, Eddie Alvarez is a warrior, he's really tough and whatever, but he is a bit chinny, so all he had to do was just keep countering, not be too reckless, just use his boxing, and I think that's going to be a similar strategy he's going to use against Khabib.
Yeah, I agree, but see, with the Mendes fight, he wasn't as calm as he was in the Alvarez fight, and as you said about kicks, so remember the myth, you're never to kick a wrestler, and if you've not noticed, see when he was at featherweight, McGregor always thrown these spinning kicks. He's not really done that lately, has he?
Yeah, hasn't.
Like against Diaz in the first fight he tried, but since then he's kind of been, I think he's kind of threw that part of his game his way until he needs it. Yeah, but it's just the fact that his hands are so fucking good. You know what I mean?
I think what happened essentially is when he was at featherweight, whenever he used these kicks, he wasn't using these kicks like Barboza used. He wasn't
looking out for the knockout.
Exactly, blow. He was using it to make the person move into his punches. But he's gotten so good at boxing now, and he's changed his boxing kind of style as well to where he's not getting his hit as much. He doesn't need to use kicks and other techniques in order to get his hands into position that they need to be.
Exactly.
He's gotten so good at his boxing, he's always landing his hands. That's all he needs to do.
I think it also has something to do with his movement as well. I mean, the way he just steps in and out, I mean, it's something like in a film, do you know what I mean? That has a lot to do with it. He freezes opponents. Another example, obviously, we don't want to keep talking about the Alvarez fight, but that's when I seen it the most.
He said it himself.
Just froze him.
He said it himself. He said that Eddie Alvarez said that it was lulled into it. He felt safe when he wasn't, and that's what McGregor manages to do, especially in his recent fights.
I mean, we can't sit this full podcast stick riding McGregor. I mean, we need to talk about Khabib.
Let's talk about Khabib.
Khabib's no fucking Eddie Alvarez. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Khabib is definitely not Eddie Alvarez. Khabib is just the definition of a hard, tough, literally in it for everything, not caring, putting his fighting priority over every single thing in his life type of fighter. And Conor has never fought anyone like Khabib, just like Khabib's never fought anyone like Conor, but Khabib's a very, very rare occurrence, just as Conor is, just in completely contrasting ways.
See, it's weird thinking, because as you said, he's not fought anyone like Conor. The only person that Khabib's fought similar to Conor is probably Edson Barboza, which we know how that went down. I mean, if you're talking about like the powerful striking, Barboza is 100% the hardest striker Khabib's fought, and look what
I think in terms of high level striking, definitely, but it's very different form of striking. Like Edson Barboza is like, he's got hands, but he has like nowhere near the boxing. Yeah, exactly, nowhere near the boxing pedigree of Conor. And the thing is, even though it's true, you can kick a wrestler if you do it quick enough. If it's not like hard Muay Thai kicks like Edson Barboza has, and it's more just like quick flick kicks, like McGregor was talking about. But it just doesn't have the same boxing pedigree, and it's more of a wrist to kick a wrestler than it is to punch him, and that's why I think it's a different fight completely. And it's just a sort of fight where it's two just drastically different styles, two drastically different people, and that's just what makes it so interesting.
That's what makes MMA, doesn't it? This is one of those fights. Everyone loves these fights. The specialist be the specialist.
Exactly.
Whose discipline's going to come out on top. So I'm buzzing for it. Have you got a prediction for it? I know I've just brought this on you. I'll give mine first if you want, right? I personally think McGregor gets it done. Purely on the fact obviously this can go anyway, but if Michael Johnson can rock Khabib, what can McGregor do? Michael Johnson, southpaw, McGregor, southpaw. I'm just saying, second round Conor.
That's not a bad prediction. I'm thinking if Conor's going to win, it's going to be in the first 3 rounds as well, probably the first 2 rounds. And it is such a hard decision to make, because it's not even that it's hard to predict, it's hard to understand where Conor is in terms of his MMA ability right now. It's hard to understand what it's going to be like once they're in the cage, because it just seems like such a foreign thing for them to be both inside the cage. Just because
it's similar. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's similar to like Aldo. Not talking about like the result, but I'm talking about how you just don't expect to see them two in the cage. Do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly. And I think if I had to make a pick, I think I'm going to have to choose McGregor. I have to. I just don't know. The big reason I think as well that he's got a really good chance of tagging Khabib early is it's not even to do with Khabib's aggressive style or anything like that, because he's not going to run at Conor the same way he ran at RDA.
No, as he thought.
But the thing is, Conor specialises in straight punches and uppercuts. Michael Johnson
exactly what Michael Johnson clipped Khabib with.
Yeah,
exactly.
But Michael Johnson as well, he's just got amazing hand speed, so the punches he throws, even though they're devastating, a lot of the time it is just wings. It's like big winging hooks, and it doesn't throw the same just precision straight striking that Conor's able to do in terms of just shooting it down the middle so quickly that you just can't see it coming. And the fact that Michael Johnson, even if he didn't rock Khabib with that looping hand that he hit him with, it just shows that Khabib has that vulnerability and will have even more of a vulnerability against someone that can hit precision, quick, straight strikes like Conor can. And that's why, as hard as it is, I'm going to have to pick Conor.
Yep, no, I agree. His footwork will freeze. I think Conor's footwork will freeze Khabib. But, right, let's just have an official MMA podcast. The first few rounds Conor wins, the later rounds Khabib wins. I mean, if that's not MMA analysing at its top, I don't know what is. You know what I mean?
I know, it's like the almost base thing. Like, it's like it's saying one of them's going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking forward to it anyway.
I am as well. Right, let's get them out the window and get on to the next topic. The one and only Jon Jones is officially back. Kinda?
Yeah, I mean he's pretty much good to go in a couple of months, or not even a couple of months, less than a month now.
Yeah, I seen Dana saying he won't be fighting at the 230 card at MSG, probably starting next year. Yeah. But the real question is, who the fuck does he fight? Does he fight Gustafsson?
He did post. He posted a picture of him and Gustafsson. I think it was on his Instagram.
Aye,
very
I've seen that.
Yeah. So.
Aye.
I mean, I feel like that's the fight to make. If he's wanting to fight before either DC retires and vacates the belt, or DC, even though I very much doubt he will, move back down to light heavyweight.
I doubt it.
The Gustafsson fight's the fight to make. If Rumble's not planning on coming back, which looking at Rumble nowadays,
he's not coming back at 205.
Yeah, he's definitely not coming back.
He's going to Rising or something, man. He'll be perfect over there, just biting people's heads off. No, I think DC needs to fight Brock. That's a fight. Well, I'd love to see DC and Jones again, but I think it needs to be Brock. If he's wanting a pretty much guaranteed win, go out on a high.
I think DC's. I'd love to see DC take John Jones's pride fight that he always wanted.
Exactly, the one he was building up to his full career.
And I think DC's going to smash Lesnar.
Oh, it wouldn't even be close.
I don't understand how people are talking about it like it's going to be a competitive fight. I think it's going to be devastating.
Not only will DC outstrike him, he'll out-wrestle him as well, most likely. Do you know what I mean?
I don't even think he's going to try and wrestle him. I think he's just going to destroy him in the feet because DC has great
that
balls.
Glass chin, isn't it? And DC has fucking hands. He's shown lately.
Heavy hands.
Isn't it quite weird? He's always had hands, when he knocked out what's his name, Bigfoot, stuff like that. But towards the end of his career, this is where all the finishes have started to come. Do you know what I mean? And also his ground game as well.
I think you've just got to look at it as he's not been striking for that long, so he's getting to a point in his striking career where he is
his prime.
Exactly, and he could always punch, but now he can really, really punch at a high level and knock people out with him.
See someone like DC with the discipline he has for all the years doing wrestling and all that stuff. Imagine it doesn't even just apply for him necessarily, but these wrestlers who come in and who put like every second of the day into it, imagine they learn striking at that age as well. Do you know what I mean? What would we be seeing now?
I think that's the future, and that's what we're going to see in a couple of years. Probably in a couple of years. It won't even be a decade where you'll see these kids that are training MMA, wrestling, Muay Thai, boxing, every aspect of MMA from a very, very young age intensely, and it's going to be an entirely different level to the sport physically.
I agree 100%, and kind of to go off the Jones subject and to build off something you said there. Speaking of young strikers, Sage Northcutt versus Logan Paul.
I knew Logan was going to get brought into it at some point. You can't escape it.
You can't do a podcast with YouTube for views without putting Logan Paul in the title, do you know what I mean? Well, right, so let's be realistic here. Do you think this fight will happen?
I definitely don't think this fight would happen, but I have to say Logan Paul has enormous athletic potential, not even to do with his supposed wrestling background, and even though he did compete in wrestling.
I think he placed 5th in his division.
It was something like that. It was 4th or 5th in his state division, but even then, if you even disregard that, if you look at his physical ability, obviously, and he's not just that, but the boxing that he was able to show in that KSI fight, even though it was obviously very amateur.
The first 2 rounds he did, his jab was beautiful. He had a really good jab.
It takes a really long time to learn a jab like that, and he did it in a very short amount of time.
He did, but something else we can't look at, he's fighting KSI, who, no offence, is kind of a bag of shite. Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
See, the thing is, I don't want to sit and talk about this KSI Logan shit all day, so fuck that out the window, but Logan looked good against shit, so we can't really go off that. Do you know what I mean?
What I'm thinking is, if he really wants to try MMA, if that's something that he genuinely wants to do, and Dana's not going to give him the opportunity to do it because he said, "Oh, I should be arrested if I let Logan fight in the UFC."
1 minute, I'll pull up what exactly he said. He says, he says, Dana White, I should be arrested if I let Logan fight in the UFC. And today Logan's came back and said, "Stop acting like you do it for the sport," which I could not agree more with.
I know everybody's talking about it, but when you look at the CM Punk thing, I'm not a fan of Logan Paul, if that's not obvious. But
it doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like it, mate.
Nah. So he is more athletically talented. He's more of a combat sports background, and not just that, he's way more famous and will bring more eyes to the sport than CM Punk did. So I think not to give him the same opportunity that CM Punk, even though if it is under sort of different conditions. Like, I mean, at least Logan Paul has had a fight, even if it is against KSI. Look at him.
See if you look at all the shit that goes into MMA, right? Fair enough, he has his wrestling, but I personally don't think that he will do it, because it's not. Why would that be appealing to him in any way? He could make that money doing like a film or something like that. You know what I mean?
Unless he's getting a shortcut to the UFC, he's not going to do it. He's not going to work his way up and train and go in the Contender Series eventually.
So I'll tell you one thing, but Sage would fucking eat him for
Like, that is
so like, completely different leagues. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's just, I mean, to even think about it as a possible reality, it's never going to happen. It would never happen.
Right, now that we've got our YouTube title talking about all that Logan bullshit, now we can go on to the real shit. So Tyron Woodley came out today that he has a hand injury and he'll be out for 8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, probably smashed it off Till's face.
Oh, why do you need to do that, man? There's no need to bring Till up, man. Till will still be the champ, don't you fucking write him off yet?
I don't know, man.
That's just a bump in the road for Till, but anyway, Woodley, obviously the fight is Woodley Covington. That's the one everyone wants to see. That's a fight for Woodley that. How do I say this? That's a fight that will make Woodley even more appreciated. Even though I think the Darren Till fight, he's gained a lot more fans.
Mm-hmm.
This
he definitely has. But everyone hates Colby.
Oh, exactly.
Some people hate Tyron. Everyone hates Colby, and I think Woodley smashes Covington. To be honest,
yeah, I think Covington's a good fighter, but I think they're in completely different leagues. Woodley's just too good. Like, he's good everywhere. I can't see anyone
his striking in the pocket is unbelievable.
Exactly. See, after watching that fight, now I don't doubt him anymore. Do you know what I mean? I never doubted Woodley, but I genuinely thought Till would win that fight. But
I had picked Woodley over Till, but I thought it was going to be a hard fight for Woodley. I didn't think it was going to be what it was.
I thought it was going to be a lot similar to the Wonderboy fight, where Till would just try to keep his distance, but nah, he kind of stood toe to toe with Woodley for the most part. Kind of just wanted to bang.
He's a hard person to strategize against, Woodley, because you just never know when he's going to explode. You can try and pressure him,
exactly,
but you never know when he's just going to come out for that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, but yeah, Darren Till. I mean, hopefully next for him middleweight. You think?
He said. I mean, his coach said, or his nutritionist said. I know. Yeah, you've got to take his nutritionist's words with a grain of salt. But he said that he could make welterweight for years to come. But I mean, he's obviously not healthy making it. If he can make it healthily, there's a lot of matchups in the division that'd be interesting for him. But I think middleweight in at least his near future would be a good idea.
Yeah, well, what we've seen obviously lately with the likes of like Cowboy, maybe not so much lately, but Cowboy, DeSantis. See, a lot of fighters are holding a lot back cutting weight, and that might be the case for Till. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he could be an effective middleweight, definitely. He's tall enough, he's big enough, he's got the frame for it, and
I still don't think his ground game's bad. A lot of people like have a lot to say. Obviously, gets choked out, but when he was coming up in his amateurs, all his fights were in Brazil, literally all of them. So he knows how to get up if he's down. Yeah. But obviously, there's levels to this, you know.
There is, but I think the Woodley fight's a bad example of his ability on the ground, because he wasn't thinking about submission. He was thinking.
He was rocked before.
Yeah, and he was thinking about the strikes. He was in survival mode. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's not a representative of someone's grappling ability.
Yeah, I watched one of Till's older fights. I think it was the one before Cerrone, and I can't remember the boy's name, but they were fighting, and as you could see, he was controlling everything on the ground, passing guard to land the elbow. I mean, I think he'll do just fine if he comes up against a straight grappler anyway. I think
a good thing for him to do would be, even though I'm sure he's very dedicated to the gym that he's at, it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe get different looks grappling wise at different gyms. He may be doing that, I don't know. I'm assuming that he's getting some sort of...
Well, he's at Team Calbom, and is it Calbom? I can't remember, in Liverpool, and I think he's been there since he was a wee boy. Yeah. But I agree, maybe go out, you know, you don't need to change gyms, just go out, get more training somewhere else. Exactly,
I don't think he needs any... I mean, his striking's excellent, and I think that even though, of course, everyone can get better, what he has to be worrying about is definitely his ground game. And I think a lot of it just comes down to the game plan. If he'd had a different game plan against Woodley, then he might have had a better chance. But I think at this stage in his career, it's very unlikely that he would have been able to beat Woodley no matter what sort of fight.
I agree now.
Yeah.
I didn't agree before.
I agree in hindsight.
I bought in, man. I was bought in from the hype, and I still am, but we'll see where he goes anyway.
We will.
Right, what else we got? Valentina Shevchenko versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk added to 231 for the vacant flyweight belt. First of all, it's a fucking disgrace that they stripped Nico Montano for that. I love her. But I do understand. But I mean, come on, man, you don't need to apparently she found out on Instagram that she was stripped. I mean, you know what I mean, be a wee bit more professional than that, Mr. White, you know. But anyway,
I get that, Valentina, but to be honest, I understood that she had trouble making weight, she had the medical issues and stuff like that, but I don't think she had any plans on fighting Valentina, to be honest.
Valentina would have ate her up.
She would have.
Let's be honest. But
she would have cut her to pieces.
I'll tell you one thing. Valentina Joanna, that is some fight. They've scrapped a few times before in Muay Thai, have they not?
Yeah, and I think Joanna's lost every single one.
Yep. And she's moving up a weight to fight the bud she's lost 3 times to, so good luck to her, you know.
Who do you have?
I think Valentina 100%. I think Joanna's, I think she should have stayed at flyweight. She kind of went into a bumpy road. I honestly think Rose just has Joanna's number, you know what I mean? Like some fighters just, like TJ Cody for example, do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
I think Rose is just so good. Although I can see Rose getting beat off other people in the division, maybe Andrade, you know what I mean? I can
definitely see Rose losing, but I think the Joanna Valentina fight's really interesting just in terms of seeing, okay, they've competed in purely striking, what's going to happen now that they're doing MMA striking, because it is very different stylistically in terms of how you stand, how you're throwing your punches, how you're throwing your kicks.
Shevchenko has a lot better ground game than Joanna, I'd say, as well.
She does. I think Shevchenko's got an excellent ground game, and I do have Shevchenko in the fight, but it'll be interesting to see where Joanna is and where Joanna will be when she moves up in weight.
Yeah, well, Shevchenko's a lot bigger as well, isn't she?
Yeah, she has a bigger frame for sure.
Yeah. Right, what next then? Oh, here's one. This is one I want to get your opinion on. Jose Aldo wants his next fight to be at 155.
Yeah, it's interesting. I
think he should have done it a long time ago.
I don't think they were going to let him while he was champion, to be honest. I
remember what
he wanted to.
I might be wrong here, but was he and Pettis not supposed to fight?
He was supposed to fight Pettis, or at least there were talks that he was supposed to fight Pettis, but
when Pettis
it never materialised. Yeah. And I think it's a good idea for him at this point in his career. I think even though the lightweight is a complete shark tank, I think he can do well there. I
agree.
Yeah,
speaking of Pettis, let's see what happens with him and Ferguson first. But I wouldn't mind seeing Jose Aldo with Pettis even at this stage, because Pettis looked good in his last fight, you know. I
think regardless of the outcome of that fight, the Pettis Aldo fight could definitely be the fight to make if both of them want it, and I don't see why neither of them would want it, because whoever wins is back at that top end of the rankings.
100%. Yeah. I think Pettis, he needs a little bit more convincing, but because he went through a kind of rough stage here, you know.
He has, and
he fought last time where he choked him out?
Jazia.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
Yeah, but I think Ferguson beats Pettis, and I think after that, if Pettis fights Aldo, that'd be a great move for Jose Aldo to move up to 155. Yeah. I think he's small. I mean, he's small at featherweight. If he was fighting Ortega or Holloway again or any other fighter at featherweight, he's always smaller now, because they're just getting bigger and bigger.
That's so true. He is fighting these longer, bigger guys. And who's it? I'm going blank on his name, but there's another boy that called him out in the division who's another long, big guy. Aldo at this point, just pick your fights, man. You know what I mean? You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Just, you know what I mean, be happy, get your paycheck. We're not expecting much from you anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I think even he can still compete at a very high level. I can never see him beating Holloway. I can see him beating Ortega. I could definitely see him managing to beat Ortega, but I can't see him beating Holloway. I think moving up to 155 as he's getting older is probably healthier for him. Yeah. He doesn't have to make the cut that he's always had a very hard time making, and yeah, I think it's an excellent idea for him to move up.
I agree. A lot of good matchups to be made there.
Yes.
Speaking on Brazilians, Verdun banned for 2 years.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Not surprised, motherfuckers.
No, I'm not surprised. It's a shame just given how bad heavyweight is. Yeah, how dominant he was. An excellent heavyweight. Yeah, he was. I mean, people have always thought of him as, I mean, at the very least top 10, whereas a lot of people have him in his top 5 for just for modern day Verdun.
No, I remember before the Miocic fights, they were saying he was the best of all time.
They were, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Joe Rogan especially, but Joe Rogan has a knack for saying that, and then the person getting knocked out.
Whoever's winning, Joe Rogan will be like, you know what I mean? So it's big up Joe Rogan. I'm calling you out for the next KSI boxing fight. Let's
do it.
But, Verdun, fucking cheat bastard.
Yeah.
Enjoy retirement.
It's always sad. Like, I hate it when fighters test positive. Fighters are light, because regardless of your opinions on whether PEDs should exist in sports or have a place in sports, fighters fight by a certain rule set that everybody agrees to, and if you break, even like if you're smoking weed or something, which obviously you shouldn't be getting banned from, you still agree not to do so, and when you violate that, you're not operating under the same rule set that the other person's operating under, and that's just not fair to anybody involved.
Unfair. And especially when you're doing a sport like this. Fair enough if it's fucking cycling or something, but this is a sport where you can genuinely kill your opponent. So
well, you just got to look at Michael Bisping and Vitor Belfort and what he did to him. And
exactly. If
they'd fought each other if Vitor Belfort wasn't on what he was on, then whew.
Isn't it weird how whenever you talk about steroids, Vitor's name always just pops up somehow? He's always just there, isn't he?
Well, he is. He's just the most demonstrative.
He deserves every bit of abuse he can get, man. Remember the Rockhold fight as well?
He does. I mean, he wouldn't have been able to do the things that he did in that division. 100%. I believe anyway, if he wasn't on what he was on.
100%. Also, speaking about Verdun, he was talking shit to Mark Hunt. Did you see that?
I did on his Instagram page, and we got another legendary copy pasta from Mark Hunt.
I mean, mate, enjoy the favelas, bitch.
I love Mark Hunt. Speaking of Mark Hunt, he's got his last fight. He says he thinks he's going to go one more time in the UFC against Gohan
Saki. Yeah. What a fight that will be. Mark Hunt will kill him.
I think Mark Hunt's going to murder him, even though Saki's obviously a brilliant striker. Hunt's
amazing. He's amazing, but Mark Hunt could just take him down and win. You know what I mean? I'd love to see him do that. I'd love to see him do that. But Gokan will be a good fight. But Mark Hunt's so much bigger. Do you know what I mean?
He is.
See, in the who's the boy who's fighting in Russia? That was Olenek. Is that if I pronounced it?
Yeah, I don't know
if you've seen his bloody leg kicks, man. Mark Hunt, oh my god, it's like he's got like 2 trees in his shots. Do you know what I mean? Just fucking powerful leg kicks. But
I think now that he doesn't have to worry about the takedown against Saki, and he could even probably implement some sort of ground game of his own in that fight.
Would be amazing.
He will stand up with Saki and will beat him. I think anyway.
I agree.
It's going to be a shame to see Hunt go, because he's at least one of my favourite fighters, and it's going to be sad.
You can't. Everyone will always get excited for a Mark Hunt fight, even if he's on a loss streak, whatever. But I seen an interview where he was saying obviously his contract's coming up, but he says he wants to go fight somewhere else before it's all done. So
yeah, I think he said he wanted to do boxing fights or something like that. And
if he should have done that about 20 years ago, Mark. Do you know what I mean?
If he just wants to have fun with it, then fuck it.
Let him, man. I do like his 2 boys, Taito Ivasa and Tyson Pedro.
They'll keep it going on. They'll keep that sort of fighting going on.
Another fight actually added Rockhold Weidman too.
MSG. Yeah. It's funny when you look back to when that fight was about to happen, and people were
I was so excited for that.
Yeah,
fight.
I mean, it was literally the undisputed 2 best middleweights in the world going at each other, and I think now they're at very different points in their career than they were then.
I know, and see, to be honest with you, and also when it was first on the McGregor card, was that the first card they ever done 2 title fights? I think.
It might have been.
I think it was.
Might have been, yeah.
Anyway, see, nowadays I think Weidman honestly takes this now. I think Rockhold was good. He's well rounded everywhere, but Weidman has just looked so good lately. And also, I kind of fell off the Rockhold train in the David Branch fight. Fair enough, he won it, but he still didn't look too. I don't know. But still, I'm excited to see that anyway.
I agree with you. I do think that Rockhold's... I think they've both fallen off, and they're both trying to kind of regain their place at middleweight. But I do have Rockhold for this fight. And the only reason I have Rockhold for this fight...
Do you want to make a bet, bro?
I'm happy to make a bet.
ALBA MMA first bet.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it. How much you want to bet?
Let's talk numbers. How much? We'll do this off. How much? We'll do this off screen, right? We'll do this.
Okay. I'll let you know.
Maybe put a few bit of a few hats or something on the line or something. Right? But yeah, no, but
I don't think Weidman can pose the same threat in the fight that even though he did really well in the first fight, I don't think he can pose the same threat that Branch did in terms of just explosive striking. And I think as long as I think wherever the fight goes, Rockhold's the better fighter in my opinion.
He showed it in the first fight, because in the first fight going in you would say Weidman has the advantage on the ground, but Rockhold fucking dominated him on the ground.
Rockhold's scrambles are amazing.
It was as soon as he threw that spinning back kick, Rockhold got mountain pretty much, didn't he get up?
Yeah, destroyed him. That was a horrible decision from Herb Dean.
It was,
but
that went around too late, didn't it?
Definitely did. But I do think for this rematch, I think Rockhold's going to win, but I think it'll be a good fight. And I love middleweight. I always have. I think it's a really fun division. But I think
it's just like a better 155 middleweight, isn't it? So well rounded, so deep.
I think it'll be a good one. It'll be a banger anyway.
Aye, that'll be the MSG card. See if Weidman loses again in New York, that would just be...
He just does not have good luck there.
I know. Where was it he fought? Gastelum? Was he Gastelum? New York?
It may have been, actually. I think it was. I don't think it was MSG, was it?
It was Brooklyn or something like that.
Yeah, it was in New York, though, so he might have broken the streak.
Yeah, I know. But Kelvin Gastelum, Robert Whittaker.
Yeah, it's going to be a good fight. Who do you have?
Listen, I love Gastelum, I always have. And I really think he can do it, because it just... See, me and you both, we used to watch him on The Ultimate Fighter, remember, when it was Jones' son?
When everybody doubted him, and he was he the last pick in that?
He was one of the last pick, but the thing was with him back then was he would just wrestle you, but see now his hands...
his hands. That 1-2.
The 1-2 is just something else. But then again, bloody Robert Whittaker, you know...
I think Robert Whittaker was going to take it, and I think he's going to take it pretty convincingly, to be honest.
You think he's going to take it, Whittaker?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'd love to see Gastelum get the win.
I'd love to see Gastelum, because I think he's either going to become a champion at middleweight or welterweight at some point in his career.
I think he has a better chance at welterweight,
to be definitely. Size-wise, definitely.
But then again... He's been making noise at middleweight, hasn't he?
He has. He's been doing well, and if he can do well at middleweight, he can definitely do well at welterweight.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else. I mean, basically what we're wanting to talk about is Khabib and Conor. That's the next big card. There's a Brazil card on tonight that I think even the fighters that are fighting on it have pretty much forgotten about. So
they won't even watch the replays. They can't even be arsed with it.
Did you say anyway, Barral missed weight by like 5.7 pounds?
Mate,
even he forgot about the fight.
Big up USADA, by the way. You guys are doing bloody great keeping the spot clean. Right, anyway, ALBA MMA podcast 2. Hopefully we're going to try get on a schedule of these and fucking get them up lately. Got a new logo made, so big up. And yeah, fucking like, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit, and fucking enjoy your life.
Catch you.